And this is her Jolene. I will put you in there, baby girl. Oh, how old is she?
She's about 10, but she's a 3-time rescue, so she's got a lot of separation anxiety.
Oh, what a sweetie.
But she's so good.
Hey, hi.
Hi, Jan. My name is Robin, and this is my 2021 Rogue Sport that I just named the Tree Frog.
You've got quite a setup here.
Well, in the front is my Bouge RV. I just bought this
EcoFlow.
EcoFlow Delta 3. It came with a 400-watt panel, but the panel is so big, and I just didn't bring it this time. And I've built this wooden block down here to hold it level, because I felt like that might be a good idea to have it level.
Yes.
I've got 2 plugs in here, so when I'm driving, I've got the refrigerator running on the console, and the generator charging, or the power bank charging on the other one. So then over here I have a bed that is a piece of foam. So I sew a lot. So I've sewn this with 3 hinges so that if I want to sit up, I can fold this part up, and then in the evening I can watch TV on my phone. So this is kind of my gear line. I keep my headlamp on there a lot, and I've got these fairy lights all the way around the car. This really helped me to be able to get to things in the front seat at night underneath the front of the bed. I have my power cords when I'm traveling. I have my water bottles and dirty clothes and blankets and all that sort of thing. And when I'm traveling, I fold this in half all the way down to the folded down seat, and then I can put my cooler and a few other things that I have in the tent can go in this back space for me to access easily. I made my Reflectix things, just covered them with green is my favorite color, I guess.
Yeah.
I wanted it's nice and jungly in here when I've got all of the things up.
Right.
I'm just using a sleeping bag and a throw, and I have a down throw that I put in the covers when it gets really cold, like it did last night. If I'm in the car and I need to potty in the car, then I position myself in this seat, and I'm using the Dunkin' Donuts coffee can. And I'm a naturalist. Of course, if I do number 2, I go and find a toilet. But I don't have bags and ships and stuff like that. I just find a place to broadcast the liquid.
Female human should not be the only creature not on Earth that cannot pee on the ground.
Right. And I think it helps deter the bears.
I've heard of men that mark their territory so the bears is, a deterrent to predators and maybe even mice. You never know.
And I also use these for number 1.
Right. And tell us about those.
So I got this at REI, and Cooler Cloth. It's waterproof on the back and absorbent on the front. So for backpackers and stuff, it's a common thing that you hang it on the back of your pack and let it dry out in between, and then wash it to cut down on paper trash.
Handy way to carry water for your dog, water bowl included.
So it's got a workable, like it comes down there, and if she doesn't drink it all, it drains back in the hole. I've wasted more water trying to provide water for her that she turned over in the car or stepped on or or it got dirty, but then it has a lock on it that keeps it from coming out when you don't need it.
I'll have to put a link to that too.
The tent is an Out Sunny, and I think it was like $129, maybe $150. This I can actually drive away from. Where the opening is actually a door that I can zip shut. So if I want to use it as a freestanding tent, I can.
That's very important.
And so this one has elastic going over the top. It hooks onto the wheels,
making it a nice tight fit, and it has something that goes under there.
And it has a strap that pulls it tight. This part goes like the whole bumper is underneath there.
Right, so that nothing can come in through the bottom either.
So it's got 3 poles. A downside is the door, you have to step over the door opening. And I put a tennis ball. I've got it stuck on there so you don't poke your eye out.
Oh yeah, that's nice. That's easy.
It is a little bit low, but this really helps for that. When I'm not using the tent, then I still do cooking and I don't heat coffee and stuff inside my car. I'll just swing out the Yakima box and it turns into my kitchen.
Oh my goodness, do you take your Yakima box off?
Well, if I left it on, it's in the way. And if I try to swing it out, then it won't swing out because it hits the side of the tent. Mm-hmm. So most everything that is in that is what I've used to set this up.
I see. Of
so
course.
I empty it out, and then I've got a few things in there that I just throw off on the ground because it weighs like 25 pounds. That's really not a lot for me. So I take it off and move it over there. And if it weren't windy, I would be using these as legs for it to make it higher up. Oh. My clothes are in this bottom one. I'm using the cubes to kind of try and make it easier for me to find what I need in there. These are staple things. So in this box I have my cooking tools, and when I'm camping I use paper plates and then throw them in the fire. But I have a jet boil, and then I don't really use a whole lot of plug-in items, but I do have my plug-in blender. I bought a Coleman fold and go grill.
Oh, nice. That's an actual grill. How cute.
And I bought it because it was an actual grill. Then I just have my grandma's cast iron frying pan, using it with propane, and this I absolutely love. I bought this at REI, and it is a propane growler. It's good enough for 5 cans, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green cans worth of propane. The other food storage, this is a Titan Arctic Zone that I got at Walmart. I got tired of zipping zippers, so this is a zipperless one. It just has a suction. I had leftover Reflectix from doing my windows, so I made this cover that you can tell that I can stuff stuff down in the side. For just snack things, I have this basket. It's just full of
picnic
chips
things.
and picnic things
kind
and
of food.
Yeah, for when I'm on the road and I need to grab something to eat real quick. Then I love this table. Accordion's up and the legs adjust independently so that if you want it level, you can drop the legs down till it's level.
Nice.
And it has a basket under here that if you want to store things
that
under
is
there,
handy.
you can. Well, this is my diaper bag. You know, I take a lot of supplements, so toothbrush and toothpaste and hairbrush, and some of my supplements are in this front one. And here is my mirror and jewelry stuff. The girly stuff. So when I get ready to go to take a shower, I only bring like 3 pairs of underwear. And I keep them in this zipper bag so that I've always got fresh underwear when I'm showering. And I use Castile soap, Dr. Bronner's soap for everything. Washing my hair, washing my body, washing my underwear. So I'll wash my underwear and then I'll use that as my wash rag. And then, you know, they're lightweight, easy, quick dry. Here is my towel. And then I've got some first aid stuff in here. I use a lot of tinctures for first aid. So this has these covers.
Oh, nice.
And there are 2 of them. So I store a lot of short things under here that I'm going to use when I'm out. Not something I need to get to all the time, but it's twice this deep. It goes way back in there.
Right.
So like my tent poles and the tarp, I store back in there when I'm traveling.
Tell us what you get out of this.
Okay, well, I was a potter for 40 years. I love traveling and seeing new places and new things, but for that 40 years, I think I only took 2 vacations that were more than 10 days. COVID hit, that had something to do with the business kind of slipped off, and I went, okay, I'm done with that, and now I'm going to travel. So I started doing this last March. Every time you go out, you learn something, you know, and then you go home and you go buy more stuff, and then you want to go out and test your new stuff.
Yeah.
You can start with whatever you got and make it work until you're ready to move on. And people have said, "Oh, you need a bigger vehicle. You need a pull behind. You need a." And I'm like, no, I'm really enjoying the challenge of making it work with what I have and adding on things to make it work with what I have. And I have my home base, so I don't think I'll go full time because I built a little house. I spent a year building this cute little house of my dreams in Pottery Studio in North Carolina. I was in the flood zone when Helene came through, and was busy in my I'm here now on the ground, but when I went to Facebook, I realized that all the butterflies were just, where's Robin? Where's Robin? People I didn't even know. And I'm like, oh.
We're caring about you.
Yes, I know. And that's almost new for me because I'm not used to having bunches of people be all upset because they don't know where I am.
Isn't that nice, though, to know so many people care?
Oh, I know. And it was a pretty exciting adventure there that I'm getting ready to post on my channel.
And tell me about your YouTube channel.
It's called Robin's Nest Adventures. And then I've just finished this video that has all the clips, all the little videos that I took during my adventure of the flood that will be coming up. And then we'll have upcoming how we're putting it back. And I went to Collier Seminole Park, and a woman walked up to me and said, are you a butterfly? And we ended up paddling. She had never kayaked before, and she had rented a kayak. And I have a blow-up kayak that I was going, well, let's paddle together. And she was really happy that we went together because she wouldn't have gone, she'd never kayaked before. Every time I see a woman in a car at a campsite, I wonder if they're a butterfly.
I know we all do that now.
Yeah,
It's so cool.
But it's a movement.
It is. It's a new women's movement.
Yeah. And the interesting thing, I think, is that there are so many different ways to do this. Like, I'm a camper, you know, I always went to campgrounds and set up my tent and hung 12-foot by 24-foot tarps over my entire thing. You know, like you would rather camp or stay in a parking lot.
Yeah, because I want to travel every day. My goal is to see everything. I want to see the world while I still can. Thank you so much for letting us tour your great setup here. I mean, this is so efficient. What kind of gas mileage do you have in
36, 34, 36,
Isn't that
32.
great? Thank you so much for this wonderful tour of your efficient and adorable little setup here. And thanks everybody for watching to the very end of the video. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.